This podcast is brought to you by listeners like you through Patreon and Ko-fi.com. Thank you. We're also brought to you by Libris Arcana. Stay tuned during this podcast for more information and promo codes. Does Mona stand up as well?
Yeah, she's gonna stand up. She's kind of muttering to herself a little bit. Well, it looks like she's muttering to herself. Really, she's talking to Desguy. He keeps asking her questions. He wants to know what the lamps are about. I don't know what they're about. She's hoping you're not staring at her while she's talking to herself.
The world stops for you, Mona. Yep, it's that old familiar feeling that it sounds like Desky is gonna come and talk to you personally, because you've been asking a lot of questions recently. And him being the ambitious god he is, he likes to talk to some of his followers once in a while, shake their hands and, be charming. So the world stops. Everybody freezes except for you, Mona. And there is a spotlight that just happens to shine down. And suddenly there's Desky. How does Desky look to you?
He's wearing really expensive clothes when I see him, and he always looks like he knows something I don't. Basically like a jerk.
Yep. So he comes waltzing in. He literally moves through people in furniture almost like he's on a different plane of existence. And he comes up and he forcibly grabs her hand and, gives you the nice business shake. He's like, "Oh, hey there. So you wanted to talk?"
No, you keep asking me things. I don't know why the lamps are there. We'll have to ask them. And I gesture at the guards.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. I am talking to you, usually. He looks around. But,
Usually? You mean I'm starting to imagine it now? Is that another one of these, reactions to you? Ugh! I'm gonna, kick the chair a bit.
You might be hearing your own ambition within yourself. And he smiles.
Ambition within myself to get rid of you! That's my only ambition.
Well, you're stuck with me for right now. Mm-hmm. And he gives you finger guns.
I do back because I know that I have to if you won't leave, but really half-heartedly, kind of like limp finger guns.
And at that point, reality sets in, and Kiriyoshi, her hands were down to begin with, but now they're suddenly up and pointing at something. Just kind of like a bad edit in a movie.
That's why I had the inquisitive glance.
Yeah, no, I'll just stop pointing, realizing that he's looking at me. I'll nod at him. So.
Kiriyoshi just shakes his head and looks away.
Good reaction. Lord Holster finally comes in. The two guards had their halberds crossed. They uncrossed them. Lord Holster comes in. He is dressed very nicely. He has gold thread in his clothes. He has his hair slicked back. He's tall. He's slender. He's old. He's also a half elf. So looking old is pretty old. And he looks at all of you. He gives Kiriyoshi a very polite nod, acknowledging him first.
Kiriyoshi gives him a knowing nod back.
And he motions all of you to sit down. Please sit down. You didn't have to get up. It's all okay. You are my guests.
Dante will immediately flop back down. Much better.
It's
I'll
no
sit
problem, Baron. It's just a sign of respect from our previous history, and I sit back down.
Roscoe would have flopped with Dante getting pulled since he's kind of hanging on him.
Surprising strength, yeah.
I'm gonna sit down, but in the most awkward fashion possible.
Okay.
It just looks uncomfortable for everyone.
So everybody gets up. Everybody sits down. Get up, and get down. Lord Holster is standing there. He does not join you in the love seats. He just keeps standing. And he looks at all of you, and he kind of nods, and he knows something that you guys don't know, but yeah. And he puts his hands on back of one of the love seats and kind of holds himself up. And he finally says, "So, I have all invited you here on your merits. I've heard many, many things about each and every one of you." And he looks at, especially at Roscoe, and he kind of gives you a look, Roscoe. If you want to look more into that look, you can give me an insight check. Actually, everyone can give me an insight check if you want to read his overall emotions. Everyone.
Insight. Where
That's a nat 20.
Yeah, that is a nat 20. Woo.
You see the whole
Nice.
universe.
You see all of his emotions. Actually, all of you do pretty good. So, on the outside, he's not showing too much. You can tell if you play poker with this guy, it would be kind of hard to read him. But the people who rolled higher, you definitely know that this guy is definitely scheming something. And he knows probably more about you guys than he's leading on. Definitely knows way more about Roscoe than what he would probably admit or say. And then he also gives Nocturna a look too that says basically the same thing of, "Hey, I know who you are and what you do."
She just kind of smiles back the same sort of thing.
So all of you have expertise in different fields, from fighting, from knowledge of fine goods, to healing, to getting into places you're not supposed to. I have a job for you, and that's why I've invited you all here. My routes that I have been taking caravans on for the last 90 years are usually generally safe, and I have a series of properties on all those routes for my caravans to stop at, and also some of them are personal properties of mine too. There's a slight problem, though. There's a town in the east. It's Tarleson? It's near the Daenerys borders the Elven Kingdom, and he looks at all of you expecting to maybe know what he's talking about. You guys can give me a survival check if you want to recognize where this place might be.
That's a solid 5.
That is a solid 5.
Ooh, 7.
7.
Cooking with fire now.
You know of land. Land exists.
think I've been there
The
before.
land of my people.
Yeah, this makes a lot of sense though. I mean, we have said that Nexterna has done a lot of jobs for a lot of people. So specifically, Nexterna, it's about 30 to 40 miles away. If you just go straight there. But you would also know that going straight there, off the road, would be awfully dumb. We're going to pause things for a moment and have a word from our sponsors. This podcast is brought to you by listeners like you through Patreon and Ko-fi.com. Thank you. We're also brought to you by Libris Arcana. Do you like role-playing games but you have no dice? Are you a dice dragon and just need a horde dice? Libris Arcana has you covered. Libris Arcana offers both a monthly and quarterly subscription to get dice. Yeah, that's right. They send you dice monthly or every 3 months. They also sell individual dice sets and great leather protective book covers for your gaming manuals. Go to www.librisarcana.com. That's LIBRISARCANA.com to find out more. And if you use the promo code SwordfallFan, you get a discount. Look in the description below for more details. And now back to the story. So he continues. So it seems that one of my safe houses for my caravan has been infested. And I want you to clear out the house.
Infested with what?
Well, my safe houses are very safe, and some undesirable people love to try to squat in them for various reasons. And from the reports I have received and things I have seen, these are people most undesirable, bandits or thieves or something like that. They have made certain preparations to bar themselves into the house. That's why I've called Roscoe, who does have a tendency to get into things. And that's why I have Kiriyoshi and Dante. You both are very capable fighters.
I am also an expert in squatting.
Yes, you are. So you would probably know the ins and outs of what these people are doing and where they might be hiding themselves inside the property.
He gives 2 thumbs up. I'll do my best to find out for you.
And Nexterna, of course. You have your own special things about you.
Thank you.
And the cleric. You'll probably need healing.
Yes, I can heal you. I'll make you all better.
Are you alright?
I'm allergic. She's just gonna start, like, sneezing hysterically again.
He just sort of
very
looks at her.
reassuring.
Allergic to what exactly?
My god, of course.
Oh, he says and just looks very sorry to you.
Well, that's unfortunate, but still the fact you were highly recommended by my sources to hire. You seem to be good at what you do, despite the allergy.
Thank you.
Bless you.
Thank you. She's gonna go back to holding a book over her head now, for safety.
So, I will pay you all 25 gold. I will give you full 5 gold up front, and the 20 after you have returned.
It's like a fair price to me.
Sounds reasonable.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you're asking us to travel all this way to clear out some bandits. It could be dangerous. I would think it would pay a little bit better.
And what do you propose?
Well, I would think 10 up front would be reasonable with the 25 when we come back.
And this is the point where we are going to do rolls against each other. Roll me a persuasion, and I will see if he can beat you at a certain type of save, which will probably be hard because you rolled the 22.
He offers you the house.
Or one
Oh,
of them shiny orbs.
Roscoe's quite persuasive.
Yeah, Roscoe is quite persuasive. He looks and he thinks. How about 10 now, and then 20 when you come back?
That sounds a little more reasonable.
Good. I'll have the contracts drawn up, and once everything is signed, you will do the job. And he turns around and leaves the guards standing at attention and do their halberd little dance. And they leave the room. They shut the doors, and they lock the door.
Everyone, you may applaud my skills now.
Dante claps.
Kiriyoshi kind of shakes his head, knowing with his past history with the Baron.
Mona's gonna smack the book into her hand, kind of half clapping.
Why, thank you, darling. He's gonna give Dante a big grin and a hug.
Dante, you notice that there's a tug on your clothing, and a little halfling hand has their hand around one of your jewels.
Oh, sorry, my hand slipped. I was just giving you a little pat on the back.
Okay.
Kiriyoshi shakes his head, observing the two.
Yeah.
How observant is Kiriyoshi being?
Basically, everyone would have noticed that you're grabbing at one of his jewels.
Yeah, he seems very oblivious to this actually being the case and just completely trusts in that, oh, I was just patting you back excuse, it seems.
Mona's pretty used to this bit, so she just pretends not to notice, but kind of obviously she just immediately stares the opposite wall to this situation.
So the door unlocks again, and the butler who herded you in the first place actually has all your drinks. And he serves them. He actually has glasses for all of you. And pours, what was it? You all said everybody who wanted to drink wanted wine, what, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Mona will drink whatever.
Yeah, it's wine and water, basically. And he pours, everybody who wants wine. Anybody who didn't say they wanted something to drink, water, just in case. It's in fine cut glass. All these, I guess they're all wine glasses because matching. Why not? And finely cut glass, very nice, very high quality. They make almost the perfect tone when they're touched. And they're not only finely cut, they're finely tuned. One could play a song if they really wanted to on these. And he also has a map on him, which he hands to Kiriyoshi. And there's also a packet of papers. And he doesn't really say a word about anything, but he serves you, leaves, locks the door behind him. This podcast is powered by listeners like you. Thanks! Please like, comment, rate, share, and subscribe wherever you can. Consider supporting us through Patreon, Ko-fi.com, or by hitting the listener support button on our Anchor.fm page. Follow and interact with us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Discord. For all these links, look in the description below. If you liked our podcast, consider listening to these other great podcasts.
So gather your muskets, gather your spears, we'll plunder the shores of Calcinear.
Come all ye sailors and scallywags, and join the crew of Flintlocks and Fireballs, a D&D podcast following a band of privateers sailing the seas of Napoleonic Calcinia. Catch us at flintlocksandfireballs.com every Tuesday at 7 p.m. GMT, or on Podbean, iTunes, YouTube, and more. You can also follow us on Facebook at Flintlocks and Fireballs, or Twitter on @FlintlocksDND. Fair seas and natural 20s.
No kraken, storm, or spell we fear, so come and sail with us, my dear.